I want to address one of the most frequently asked questions we get at Carlo Estates. How much sugar is in your wine? How many grams per liter is in your wine? You're going to feel better after you look at this graph, but first of all, I want to give a shout out to Madeline Paquette of Wine Folly. You want to go to that website and check it out. They have great educational materials there. But one thing you're going to notice is when you look at this carbs in alcoholic beverages, you're going to see wine down at the bottom of that heap there. Then you're going to see beers, you can see ales as you work your way up the list. And of course, it's a matter of like 10 times the amount of carbs. I drink beer occasionally, and this has affected my beer consumption. And then, of course, you go up to craziness in Kahlua. But the point is that our wines, unless they are marked fortified wines, generally speaking, have less than 3 grams per liter. And we allow our red wines in particular and most of our whites to fully ferment. Derek Barnett has a very humble way of putting it. Oh, I let that wine make itself. What he's saying is he just let it continue to ferment until all of the sugars were converted into as much alcohol as we're going to get. Now, one thing about buying a wine from Prince Edward County, like Carlo Estates, is that in general, the sugar levels at harvest are a little bit lower. So in general, you're going to get in the bottle, you're going to get less sugar and you're going to get less alcohol. So the alcohol levels here, I mean, if you buy a Malbec from, say, South America, a Malbec will have sometimes 14% alcohol from South America, whereas ours will have 12.5%. So we got less alcohol because there was less sugar to convert into alcohol in the first place. You sometimes hear the name tossed around Brix, B-R-I-X, which is a measure of sugar in the grape before it is turned into wine. And our Brix levels here in the county and at Carlo are lower than you would get from a hot climate version of the same wine. So cool climate wines, if I look at that example of our Malbec, and it is the only Malbec planted in Prince Edward County, we have to give credit to Richard Carlo for having the vision to plant this cool climate wine, originally a French varietal here in the county. But it's a good one to compare because the alcohol levels are lower and it's not sweet and jammy the way sometimes is a bit too cloying in some southern climate versions of Malbecs. So generally speaking, you're going to find less sugar, less alcohol, and in general, you're going to see that our sugar levels are less than 3 grams per liter. Other than that one exception, all our wines are dry.